Hey guys, my name is Devontae and I sacrifice my time so you don't have to. So hear me out real quick. I want to paint you guys out a metaphor so you understand the context going forward, alright? Check it out. So back in 2010 is when I left to go to the military, not too long after I graduated high school. I went to the military and I left the military unfortunately due to a medical discharge in 2013. For about 2 years is when I stayed with my grandmother because, I was on my own. Had no place to go, had no job, nothing like that. Not to mention the military was still paying me, wanted to be lazy, did nothing for a full fucking 2 years. A full fucking 2 years did I do absolutely fucking nothing. Eventually, I did leave in 2015. I got my own place for the first time as a civilian up in Kendall. My rent at the time was around $1,545. I still remember it. A studio. Yes, it's Miami. It's Kendall in particular. Incredibly expensive. If you know, you know. If you live around the Miami area, live around Brickell, you live around Overtown Arena, live around Comer, you know what I'm talking about. It's super duper expensive in Kendall. But the water was free. But the electric bill, because I had no kids, I wasn't even in a relationship at the time. It was essentially like, I wouldn't want to say free, but on the low end, I would be paying $60. On the high end, I was paying like $90 a month. That was my water and my lights. My gas bill was non-existent because they had an electric heater and they had an electric oven. My car, my grandmother gave me her beat up Toyota Corolla 96. All I had to pay was PIP insurance, which was like $40 a month. I didn't even have to drive it as far as gas is considered because I worked at Publix, which is across the street from Kendall at the time. No, it's still there actually, as a matter of fact. What I just described for you right there, is essentially all the things that CM Punk is going through currently at the moment in WWE. That's what he's going through right now. It's very, 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 very easy to move around. Now, granted, the rent is incredibly fucking high, but it's incredibly easy to move around. Don't just look at the rent because you have to go shopping for an apartment or shopping for a house. You ignore all the utilities that come with it. It's the actual sum total that you look at and you think to yourself, holy fuck, that's horrible. A one studio for $1,545 while ignoring all the things that come along with it that you yourself bring to the table that comes along with that. That's the WWE mindset when I look at CM Punk. Then you look at the AEW mindset and you look at my current situation right now, which is not bad per se, what you could say the same about AEW, but it's nowhere near to the degree as to where I was a couple of years ago. I live in Florida City. It's a terrible neighborhood. I think you guys even heard some of the helicopters and cop stuff in the background, some of the videos these past few months. Now check it out though. Check it out. My rent is $1,050. Way cheaper, about nearly $500 less than what I paid when I was on my own in Kendall. But here's the thing. Like I said, it's a bad neighborhood. The amenities that come with it, or the amenities, however you say it, they're all there. Not like it was in Kendall. My rent may be incredibly cheap, but I'm now paying water every 3 months. And it's around $150 because I have a kid and I have my baby mama with me, and they raised my water bill up dramatically, which is not bad. It's whatever. But my point being is, water was free when I was in Kendall. My light bill, it ain't $60 and $90 anymore because I was at work usually and I was home by myself doing nothing besides jacking off probably. Now it's $200 because my girl's a stay-at-home mom and it's me working. I look at my gas bill. Yes, I have a gas bill now because it's a terrible neighborhood. So they don't have things like electric stoves or electric fucking heaters or anything. No, everything runs off of gas. That's $50 off rip. $50. gas to get back and forth to work. I work in Hialeah now, AAR. I don't work at Publix anymore. To get back and forth to Florida City and Hialeah is almost an hour drive, especially in traffic. Every month I spend like $200 on gas alone in my car. You get where I'm coming from? My car. This is a newer car that I have now. This was my Toyota Corolla broke like what, fucking 6-7 years ago almost. This is now, right now, I'm in a Kia Forte 2021. I have to pay a car note for this now. $250. Not that bad in my opinion, but still. $250. Full coverage because it's a 2021. $275 for insurance. What I'm paying out for you guys, and how I'm paying this out, is that right there is CM Punk's time in AEW. You look at that 1050 and you say to yourself, that looks glorious. That looks awesome. It's so awesome in comparison to that 1545 number that WWE has. But it's not. Because you ignore all the things that come along with it. And you ignore the circumstances that person happens to be in at that time. Now, granted, again, comparing it to CM Punk, I can say that I have a better job now than what I did back in the days, so it kind of evens itself out. But understand that's because of the circumstances. What I mean by that is, in comparison to what CM Punk is going through in AEW versus WWE, and my comparison with my apartment situations, I understand that it was my circumstances that drove me, that was the engine behind all my decisions and the repercussions that came from those decisions, whether good or bad. With CM Punk, what you guys need to understand, I've been saying this for years now, is that CM Punk in itself is not a draw. He's drawing, but he in himself is not a draw. I've been promoting this, I've been saying this for years now. Look at CM Punk in AEW. I want you guys to do me a favor. Go look up the AEW numbers as far as what CM Punk has done. I'll give you an example. Rampage, right? If I'm not mistaken, it should be around 16, 17, maybe 18 million viewers for AEW. I think it's around 17 million viewers. It took them nearly 2.5 years to get 17 million viewers. If I'm not mistaken, if WWE isn't half of that number right now, they're quickly approaching half that number right now. And it took them 1 month, not even a month. It took them like 3 weeks. 3 weeks to get half of what AEW has accumulated in 2.5 years. And it goes further. As I pointed out plenty of times before, and you can do this yourself also, go look at AEW's numbers when CM Punk was there, and look at the pay-per-view buy rates from when this first time started, when he went against Darby Allin, and look at all the pay-per-views that he main evented going forward, and look at the buy rate forward. They all started to decline. Every pay-per-view going forward involving CM Punk declined and declined and declined and declined and declined. Look at the viewership numbers from 2020 to 2021 to 2022 to his recent time of Collision in 2023. Declined, 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 declined. And here's the thing, because I'm gonna help you. We're gonna help you, both of us. We're gonna help each other out. Because I'm not putting all this for all the AEW fanboys, for all the CM Punk fanboys. I'm not putting all of this on CM Punk. But here's the catch. With me not putting all of this on CM Punk, you have to acknowledge that with every positive comes a negative. If I can look at this and say that all the negatives that happen to be with AEW has nothing to do with CM Punk, it has everything to do with the company, then I would at least assume, if you are consistent, that all the positives that happen with AEW involving CM Punk has absolutely nothing to do specifically with CM Punk overall. Right? Can we be consistent with that? No, because that's fucking retarded. Of course, everything has to do with CM Punk from a positive and negative standpoint, because it's him and the company performing whatever he's performing. And that's not a bad thing. But it does say that it takes a machine. It takes the engine to run the car. I'll give you another metaphor because that's a great metaphor comparison for you to understand the difference between a draw and someone drawing. And looking at CM Punk's time in AEW versus actual marquee draws like The Rock, like Hulk Hogan, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin, you know why he's a draw? You want to know why he's a draw? Because who stopped WCW for destroying WWE? Who stopped them from destroying WWE after a 2-year domination? That'd be Austin. No? You can say Austin McMahon if you want to, but last time I checked, McMahon wasn't in all of Austin's segments. And Austin, his segments destroyed WCW for the most part. Look at The Rock. Look at the overrun numbers The Rock did. No one touches The Rock's overrun numbers. No one touches The Rock's numbers, period. The year 2000, Shane McMahon, steel cage match. What was it? Between 10 to 12 million viewers. WWE gets 10% of that nowadays. 10% of that viewership number that Rock did by himself with a Shane McMahon SmackDown 2000 steel cage match sometime in May or June. That's what happened. I believe it happened in May. It happened right after Judgment Day, if I'm not mistaken. That's what happened with The Rock. That's the kind of numbers he does because he's actually a draw. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, what did he do with Andre the Giant on Saturday Night Main Event? 30 million views. You want to call CM Punk a draw? His on-demand numbers between Rampage and WWE combined can't equate to what Hulk Hogan did live. And mind you, this is on just television. CM Punk he can afford, how can I put this? He has the, I can't think of the word right now off the top of my head. He has the what's the word I'm looking for? The satisfaction, if you will. He has the grace, if you will, of having social medias all over the place to take his numbers and build them all up and give you an average, right? Hulk Hogan didn't have that. He just had television. And it took 30 million people to watch him live compared to all CM Punk's numbers combined. Those are draws. You know, we talked about that car comparison a little bit earlier. You know what Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock are? They're the car. You throw away the car, you ain't got nothing to drive. You know what CM Punk is? He's the tires. He may be the steering wheel. He may be the engine. He may be the starter. He may be the water pump. He may be the transmission. He may be the interior. He may be the decal. He may be any part of the car. But here's the thing. Rock, Austin, Hulk Hogan, be in the car. You throw away the car, you got nothing to drive. With CM Punk, you throw away a part of the car, you can replace it. You can replace it. That's the difference between The Rock and the Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Hulk Hogan versus a CM Punk. You can replace it. No matter how good it looks, no matter what its performance is, you can replace it. You throw away the car, then go for it. Throw away the car, but now you have to buy a whole brand new fucking car over again. And until then, you ain't driving shit. CM Punk can be a part of the car where even without it, you can get a few miles before the car breaks down. And again, the car is still there. Even CM Punk has said this early on in his old promos. He ain't the bicycle, he ain't the tire, he's just a spoke on the wheel. But, it's not to take anything away from him. See, that's the dirty little secret also when it comes to a CM Punk that no one wants to admit as far as him being a part of the car rather than being the car itself. The dirty little secret that no one wants to admit is the fact that it took a WWE. It took a driver to make it known that CM Punk is a part of that car. Even for Rock, Austin, and Hogan, you can argue that it took a driver to move that car. But like I said, once that car is gone, what is that driver going to do? Not a goddamn thing. But buy a new car if he can afford it. And you guys tell me how easy is it to find a new Rock, Hogan, or a Stone Cold Steve Austin, huh? How easy is it? How easy is it to find guys to fill those exact roles? To do those kind of numbers? Is it super easy? I think the fuck not. But I tell you what, with CM Punk, it's a lot easier to replace parts on the car. You know how I know this? Because even WWE said it themselves. They make it known. They don't need CM Punk. It doesn't hurt to have CM Punk. It doesn't hurt to replace the part off the car, obviously. But at the same time, it ain't necessarily needed also. It ain't. When the time comes, when that car breaks down, then you replace it. When they are in trouble and they might need something to boost up their numbers, then you bring in CM Punk. But it ain't needed to get from point A to point B if that's your destination, if that's your goal. That's what you need to understand, the difference between a draw and someone drawing. It's not to take anything away from CM Punk. It's not to say that he himself did not contribute to AEW. He absolutely did. But you overrate, and honestly, you put him on a pedestal that is not fit for his bottom when you build him up this heavy, and it's like, in comparison to White. So then when he actually fails to meet the standards of what you put him on the pedestal for, you do two things to make yourself look stupid. A, you make yourself look stupid because you blew a guy up and he's falling directly down. And B, when he actually goes to the different company, well, guess what? All he showed you was he was never a draw to begin with. It was the company that was behind him the entire time. This is my last time talking about this. Unless something gets brought up in the news, which I highly doubt because CM Punk is an incredible company and they ain't with that bullshit, then we'll come back to this discussion again. But otherwise, I don't feel the need to want to talk about this anymore. I talked about this because I've seen plenty of comments in the past couple of weeks. Devontae, look at this. Million views here, million views here, million views here, million views here, million views here. All you're doing is proving my point, because where were those million viewers back in AEW when it was up to him to help carry the company? Oh, wait, that's right. It wasn't there. Because no one knew about AEW because they're a shitty company, and no one knew about CM Punk because he's not a draw. But when he comes to a company where everybody knows, when everybody actually respects, now all of a sudden he's blowing up again. You idiots don't even realize you played yourself. Now fall back. Fall back, sit the fuck down, and listen. Maybe that'll do some good. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces, P. Ice.